assignments, so there's something for everybody. View and apply for their job openings today at grayusa.com or visit them in person just off I-80 and North 56th Street. Come be a part of the Gray difference.
Nutrition Authority invites you to try Attack, which is an exciting pre-workout for athletes and gym enthusiasts who want the most out of their workouts. Attack can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Remember, when you want results, the solution is simple. Nutrition Authority. Stop in or check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
It's football season in Nebraska, and that means coaches are busy making game plans. I'm Eric Hagan with Liberty Law Group. Teams make game plans because no two opponents are the same. At Liberty Law, we understand no two cases are the same. Whether facing a DUI, criminal charge, or you were injured and it wasn't your fault, we tailor our legal game plan to meet your unique needs. Liberty Law's relentless trial attorneys serve all of Nebraska. To learn more, visit libertylawnebraska.com. That's libertylawnebraska.com.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they've raised wages again, and they're hiring for production operators at $24.62 per hour, which grows to $28.97 per hour within 3 years. Skilled trade positions now start at $33.36 per hour, with opportunities to make more based on certifications. Continental also has salary jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates, with increased bonuses and vacation for new hires. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today. Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
What would you tell a friend who was on the fence about going to Limitless Mail?
I would tell them to go to Limitless today. Don't hesitate. You're going to second guess yourself on if it's the right decision. The staff there is amazing. The treatments work. I'm living proof that it can completely change your life for the better.
Join thousands of men who have changed their lives with testosterone treatment. Slow down the aging process and live life. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmail.com.
It's football season in Nebraska, and that means coaches are busy making game plans. I'm Eric Hagan with Liberty Law Group. Teams make game plans because no two opponents are the same. At Liberty Law, we understand no two cases are the same. Whether facing a DUI, criminal charge, or you were injured and it wasn't your fault, we tailor our legal game plan to meet your unique needs. Liberty Law's relentless trial attorneys serve all of Nebraska. To learn more, visit libertylawnebraska.com. That's libertylawnebraska.com.
I'm Christy. I used to smoke cigarettes. I had smoker's cough and severe shortness of breath, and I knew I had to quit. Then I tried e-cigarettes, but I just ended up using both. I really didn't start to get better until I quit smoking completely. My tip to you is just cutting down on the number of cigarettes you smoke isn't enough.
Call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Rappin with Rico and former All-American quarterback Steve Taylor, Nebraska Football Hall of Famer.
Blitz is on. Taylor picks it up. Fires. Touchdown, Nebraska.
Canadian Football League Grey Cup champion.
Taylor again, wide open.
And first-team All-American quarterback Steve Taylor.
5 for Steve Taylor. That is a new Nebraska record.
Two-time Nebraska high school track and field state runner-up and two-time captain for the University of Nebraska Kearney track and field team, Enrique Alvarez Clary, better known as Rico. Live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Rappin' with Rico and former All-American quarterback Steve Taylor.
Welcome in.
Yes.
93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com. It is I, Rico, joined by the former All-American quarterback Steve Taylor to my left. Steve.
Yes. What's up, man?
How are you?
I'm actually really good.
Yeah?
I love my Wednesdays. It's hump day. Wednesday is the official Steve Taylor's day. Steve Taylor Day.
Steve Taylor Day. Wednesday, Steve Taylor Day. Well,
yes.
I know one thing that we're going to get into today.
What's that? We're going to get into a lot of stuff today.
And I know that
a lot, but a little.
Steve's gonna talk about one thing, and that's he's gonna give one thing, and that's his opinion. And if you know Steve,
my opinion's the only one that counts.
I like that. It is in my house for the most part. Sometimes.
Until most of the time.
Until my daughters and my wife team up.
Until they chime in. They're like, well.
Then I just go with the flow, you know.
But again, rapping with Rico, All-American quarterback Steve Taylor.
Yes, we're going to rap today. We're going to really rap.
Look, Saturday sucked.
Did it? Yeah.
Saturday was not great.
One of many, unfortunately.
I have given my opinion through these last few days, but we have yet to hear.
What is your opinion? I want to hear.
What is my opinion from over what happened?
What happened last week?
They just didn't show. Either there are two things. Two of my opinions.
Okay.
Is Nebraska didn't show up, and Michigan finally not put all the things together, but had an opponent that they wanted to send the country a message. They wanted to send all the other colleges in the Big Ten a message and say like, hey, we're here. We can do this against an opponent like this. Because before they played UNLV.
You're talking about Michigan.
Roast beef, beef state, whoever they played, right? Yeah. They played nobodies. They put up 30 points. They didn't allow 10 points. Okay. And then against Nebraska, it seems as if maybe they put everything together. Maybe they're clicking on all cylinders, or maybe they had just been holding back and waiting to get on this stage in Memorial Stadium against Nebraska, albeit a Nebraska team that hasn't been great the past few years. Yeah. It's still a team that people recognize. So, and Michigan wanted to send a message to the rest of the Big Ten and the rest of the country, like, we're the number 2 team in the country. Yes. Take us seriously. Here we are.
Okay. So I want to get a frame of reference here. Did you think Nebraska would show up? I'm just curious. Did you think they would show up?
Yeah. I did. I thought they would lose. I did not think they would lose that badly. I thought they would cover the 17.
You thought they would?
Or 8, whatever it was.
And why did you think that?
Why did I think that?
Yeah, why?
I just thought that they had played I thought the defense might have actually been for real. They wouldn't have stopped Michigan, but they would have slowed them down.
Okay.
And because what I'd seen from Michigan wasn't that impressive in the teams that they had gone against.
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought, Nebraska's better than some of those teams. They should be able to hang with them. I thought, Rutgers was down by a touchdown at halftime to Michigan.
Okay.
So I thought Nebraska can do that. If they can do that,
all right,
they won't get blown. Maybe 21, maybe they won't cover, but they won't get blown out. And I was completely, utterly, and totally wrong.
Of course you were. All right, here's the deal. The frame of reference is this. And I've been saying this for almost 2 decades now. So this is not hindsight.
Mm-hmm.
This is not hindsight. And I think everyone who knows me, Steve Taylor, they know that my loyalty lies with the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. I'm not from here. I'm from Fresno, California, via San Diego, recruited back in the 1985. So I'm more of a Husker than anyone. I don't care if you're born and raised here or whatever. You're no more of a Husker than I am, right? I've been here since I was 18, 19 years old. I've been through 4 or 5 administrations. I want head coaches, athletic directors, and everything. So I think the general public think that I'm qualified to make comments or to have evaluations or opinions or whatnot. And I'm fair. There are a lot of factors what's going on with the University of Nebraska right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it has been for quite some time. And some of it came to light last week with Irving Fryer and some things. And we're going to address that kind of stuff. So I was not surprised that Michigan did what they did, because the Michigan you saw used to be us. The way they think, that's the way we thought,
mm-hmm.
right? So no surprise that they came in here and did what they did, and we looked like what we looked like, because that's what when I was at Nebraska, and I'm not just talking in the 80s, I'm talking the 90s or whenever, right? We handled our business, and we had good and great athletes, and we had depth, and we had a good coach, great coaches, some of the best ever, which I'm so appreciative of, and I appreciate that more and more every day, that throughout my 20 years of football, I've had nothing but great coaches. So I have an idea of what coaches are like and what needs to be done to be successful. And it's not just on the football field. This is in life. But this goes beyond the football field. This is in life. And I don't want to start crying here because it makes me so sad to see Nebraska operate the way that they do. And there's no reason for it. They have totally lost it. And they've lost it for quite some time. And what's the definition of insanity?
Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results.
Exactly. Right? That's what we've been doing here for a decade and a half. And this isn't hindsight 2020. I've been saying this 10, 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I'm on the golf course. I listen to people talk, what they say, what they think. Right? And I give my opinion about it. Right? They have no clue of what's going on. No clue.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad. It's sad. And I have the answers. I really do. I have the answers. No one's contacting me or whatever. I even thought about running to be on a regent, to be a regent,
Mm-hmm.
because they really need some help with some things because they keep making the same mistake over and over and over again and expecting different results. That's just the reality of it. And it's tough. It's tough because, and it's tough to watch.
Mm-hmm. Are you able or willing to share some of that?
I may share a little bit of it, but they're going to have to compensate me nowadays with NIL. I mean, because it's not rocket science. It's not rocket science at all. I'll give you some brief, some short things to let you know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
One is, I did not come from San Diego, California to Nebraska because of the facilities. When I went to Minnesota, they had far better facilities. When I went to other schools, Colorado, Washington, their facilities were just as good, if not better. Right? I was recruited over 150 schools. Right? You can only take 5 official visits. I went to USC, UCLA. Their facilities were good. They were great. Stadium was awesome. Everything, right? So I didn't come to the University of Nebraska because of their facilities.
Mm-hmm.
But yet we keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. For what? Right? How big of a house do you really need to live in to be comfortable and to be happy? Think about it for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Basic. It's basic. And I'm going to tell you the reasons why I came here. And they've totally gotten away from it. And it just boggles my mind that they not have done their research, done their due diligence to try to, quote, get back to where we once was. But they're not going to do it with the way that they're doing it now. I'll go on record with that. And it's because they've been doing the same thing over and over again. And that's just one little thing. There's many, many, many other things that we're going to touch base on that. But that's what's sad and that's what's hurt. I was in the stadium third quarter, didn't even really watch the game. I sit there and talk to my mother-in-law, my brother-in-law, and his wife, and we chatted about other stuff because it was embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
It was embarrassing. So, and we've been embarrassed so many times. So it's not the first time. So you can't act like you're surprised.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
why I ask you, what did you expect? Because like we haven't. I tell my wife this, and I use this analogy. We haven't beat a team with a pulse. We have not really beat a team with the pulse.
Mm-hmm.
So what makes you think all of a sudden we're going to rise to the occasion? And
I didn't think like I said, I didn't think they were going to win. I thought it'd be closer.
I don't even know why you would think that. I mean, really, like we're like a Rutgers, dude.
Well, Rutgers is 4-1.
Yeah, they're better than us. That's what I'm saying, right? We're in this dream world that we still think we're something, and our reality, we're not.
Mm-hmm.
I told my wife it's called denial. I mean, this is tough love, but this is what it is. And the first thing you have to admit, you have to be accountable. And we're not accountable. So it's sad. I didn't even want to talk about the game last week because that's about what it was. They were superior.
Mm-hmm.
In every aspect, they were superior. Superior teams dominate. They control everything. They walk into your stadium, they do their thing, and they leave. And you go on to the next opponent. That's what we did. That's what Michigan did. So I'm not surprised.
They come in your house, they eat all your food, and then they leave. And that's exactly,
It's unfortunately that it's a red end that used to mean a lot.
Yeah.
Intimidation, all that kind of stuff. It's unfortunate, but that's where we are. And we have a long way to go.
Mm-hmm.
And if we don't start doing things differently, you're going to get the same results.
Exactly what you're talking about. That's Cubs on the Starter Heyman text line, 402-464-5685. You guys can chime in as well on the show.
Please do.
Cubsker says, Michigan did what a number 2 team or a 2-ranked team is supposed to do. Go in, kick butt, and leave a butt whooping, and props to them. Nebraska didn't come prepared, and it showed.
Absolutely.
I mean, like you just said,
So,
that's what Nebraska used to do. That's what Michigan did.
Yeah.
Came in, did their thing, left. And they were out physical Nebraska, out scheme Nebraska in your mind. And I look, and this isn't anything that, calling for any, but like in your mind, 5 games in, how do you feel about Rule and company?
Okay, here's the deal with Rule. Whether I like Rule or not, I like Rule. I think he's a good guy. I think he's a good coach.
Mm-hmm.
He has a tough task in front of him. And he's done a lot of great things. I want to say great things. He's done things that you should do, that any person who wants to be successful in life and in football should do. One thing I will say to him, I've talked to him, to really reach out to former players from out of state or in state or whatever, and ask him, why did you come to the University of Nebraska-Lincoln? To help him recruit players.
Mm-hmm.
Because they can care less about the size of that stadium. They can care less of their locker rooms. The real true players that want to win, right, that are being recruited by all the major universities that are 4- or 5-star recruits, whatever, right? So he can have an edge when he's talking to that kid of what it's going to take to get them to the University of Nebraska. And I'm going to talk to you about that other missing link, right?
Okay.
Of why Nebraska's in the situation that they're in. I don't know what your history is of Nebraska is, like Coach Osborne, like where he started, how he started, what he did here, what was his position. We're going to touch base on that. But there's no reason whatsoever that Mickey Joseph should not have been on his staff in some capacity. Other programs that happen, former players that have coached, especially with the resume that he has had or whatever, or has, that he wasn't retained here in some capacity. Should have happened. Just like when Turner Gill was still here, right? And we're going to talk more about that as well, because people overlook all that. So we're going to talk about this history of Nebraska and why we are in the situation that we're in.
Mm-hmm.
And until we change some things and do some things differently, you're going to get the same result. But Mickey Joseph could have been that bridge that could help recruit players. He did it just in 1 year. 1 year, not even 1 year, 6 or 7 months when he signed here, the type of caliber of players that he bought here. One's playing in the NFL right now.
Mm-hmm.
Came here for Mickey Joseph. Trey Palmer, right? So, because Mickey knew what it takes. He knew what Nebraska was like, and he could sell Nebraska to that type of player, right, that had other options. And the reason why I came here because of Coach Osborne and Coach Darlington, and so forth, and some other things. So we're going to talk about that a little bit, but that was enough. And this is not hindsight. I said this, Mickey should have been retained on this university in some capacity. Just should have happened. I don't care who they hired. This guy was going to stay here. You take care of your own. And unfortunately, we have not done that. We have not done that here. So, and that's one thing that the old administration, Coach Osborne and before him, they did those type of things.
Mm-hmm.
They did those type of things. So until we change that, you're going to get the same result.
Do you think the mentality at all from when you played to players now has changed? And you say that back then you didn't care about the resources. You're not the resource. You didn't care about the facilities and how fancy they were or anything because there were other schools recruiting you that had better facilities. But nowadays you see schools, it's an arms race to have the best practice facilities, to have the best locker rooms, to have this, to have that.
That's a fallacy. No, that's not true. That's ICANN. It's not true. They sell that. That's what I'm saying. It's totally not true. And people, when I say that to them, they just look at me like I'm like, dude, I didn't come here because of the facilities. I can care less.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when you're talking about a player that's a top-notch player and that he's competitive and he wants to win. First of all, he wants to go where you win.
Yeah, that's number one for everything.
You want to be around winners.
Yeah.
Right? Now, there are certain coaches out there, which McCartney was like that with Colorado when I came out. He was dynamic enough with a personality, and you would trust him when he come into your house and recruit. He had this conviction that you believe that he can actually execute what he was saying.
Mm-hmm.
I was tempted,
Thought about it,
but I had Nebraska. I'm like, why would I go there if I have Nebraska? Right? Same thing with the University of Washington. Right? So there are certain coaches, and you would put Primetime in that category.
Mm-hmm.
You'll put, Saban and some other guys that have a unique characteristic, the way they carry themselves and a proven track record or whatnot, that can convince that kid to take a risk to come to that subpar program. And you saw what he did at Colorado. So I'm not surprised what he did at Colorado because he recruited me.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I was not surprised that Coach Osborne was going to win all the national championships that he had won because of what we did every day and how they treated their players. So I think Rule has that intangible,
mm-hmm.
but he's swimming uphill because of the day and age of college sports and how football has changed over the last 2 decades, right? And I'll touch base on that a little bit. So that's why it makes it more of a challenge for him to be successful here in the University of Nebraska-Lincoln.
So not the facilities, but
no.
If Nebraska, let's, take the money back from the Go Big project and from the proposed or from the stadium renovation. First off, what are your thoughts on the new stadium renovation? Going from 90,000 to 74,000 with new areas for students and student athletes and the like.
That's a different conversation. Making a stadium smaller. That's a different conversation, right? But when I used to go to the Rose Bowl, 100,000 people, right?
Mm-hmm.
They had 60 or whatever, 100,000 seats blocked off with mats on them.
Yeah.
Covered with UCLA Bruins or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever, right? You couldn't even sit in them. So stadium was never
at capacity.
Never at capacity. Where for some reason in Nebraska, they're stuck on this sellout streak.
Mm-hmm.
No player cares about the sellout streak. No player cares about it. The general fan may care about it,
mm-hmm.
right? But players, we just want to play football. And we like the fan base. We come here because of the fan base.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as if the stadium is sold out or not, we don't really care. And there's been some controversy with that. Has it really been sold out? Blah, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's another thing, right? That they're putting a lot of emphasis on that wasn't important. And definitely not important in today's world, right? I've been to Michigan Stadium. I've been to Penn State. I traveled in the Big Ten for 4 years and I was with the Husker Sports Network, right? And I saw their stadiums. Some of their facilities were not very good, but they were still packed and they were winning and tradition, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So to answer your question, facilities is irrelevant. This investment that we're making on the South Stadium, I don't think is necessary at this particular time. Not even warranted, care less. And I went outside and walked around the other to go in the Inn Club because players hang out there. But we need to invest in players, invest in the people, invest in administration,
mm-hmm.
right? I'm all for growing, remodeling and doing some things just like you do to your home.
Yeah.
But how big of a house do you really need or want, and whatnot? So I will vote no on that.
Everybody always wants a bigger house.
Especially right now, I would definitely vote no on it. There's so many other things that we need to be doing that could be more beneficial, that could help the University of Nebraska versus
mm-hmm.
messing around with that South Stadium. That's my opinion.
Yeah, no, well,
my opinion. But I wouldn't spend money on that.
My opinion's the only one that counts.
So we talked about the bad that happened coming out of Michigan. Was there anything at all that you saw coming away from that game with Nebraska?
No, nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, the fans didn't even hang around. Seats were empty.
It was empty.
I mean, I'm not being negative. I'm just calling it out.
No, it was true.
Like it is, right?
We all saw the pictures.
There was absolutely nothing. I guess, we played against Michigan, and we got to see a good team, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
There was really nothing to take away from there that was positive.
Mm-hmm.
It was outright embarrassing. I mean, it was just embarrassing.
It was hard to watch.
Oh, and I feel for those players. I feel for everyone. I feel for the fans, the players. I had the best time at the tailgate,
mm-hmm.
and it's been like that for quite some time. It was a sad day.
Mm-hmm.
So.
What's your take on after that game, the following day, that Sunday, full padded practice?
They can do whatever they want to do, but we do not have the players. People struggle with that. There's nothing against the players that are currently there. Not everyone can go to Harvard. Not everyone can go to Stanford, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone can go to these top-notch schools. You have to qualify to get in. Got to have the standard to get in, right? If you can't, you don't go. You go somewhere else, Pepperdine or somewhere. I don't know, right? Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, I was recruited by all. Here's another interesting thing. When I was on a tee box at number 6 at Firethorn, and I was golfing with some guys, and they were like, "Dude, you are so lucky that what Nebraska has done for you." That's what he said to me.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to be there in a moment, right? I rambled off all my credentials, blah, blah, blah. And I said, dude, Nebraska was kind of lucky to have me. I said, do you not understand I was recruited by top-notch schools? I would have been successful at those other schools. I would have been, because I was a good player. I said, so yeah, it was a great fit. It was a win-win. But I could have gone somewhere else. And he looked at me like, wow, I never looked at it that way. I said, yeah, dude, I was a blue chipper. I had over 200 letters to go to schools. I chose to come to Nebraska. I was that good. Because I had hit this shot off the tee box, and it was a great shot. And he was like, you're not a bad player. Well, yeah, I'm pretty good, actually, right? Back in the day, right? So my point is that we had a standard at Nebraska. You had to be a very, very good player to be recruited by Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I was very fortunate out of high school that Nebraska was my first choice. And then luckily I was Nebraska's first choice out of all the quarterbacks in the country, because they're only taking one that year. Think about that for a minute, right? So you're going to get the best for the best that you think is best for your system. But that was the standard at Nebraska, right? Broderick Thomas, Neil Smith, Amon Green. I can go on and on about players, right? That were recruited by Nebraska. They were good. So what you see on the field is someone else's third, fourth choice. They're Michigan's third or fourth choice. That's just the reality of the situation. So they're superior.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Like, Nebraska's been struggling for a few years, and everybody involved needs to take a step up, take a look in the mirror, and we'll see where Nebraska goes from here. After that blowout loss to Michigan, they do have Illinois on Friday, and I don't know if you saw this.
You saw what the 83-84 team, the scoring explosions.
Yeah.
They just scored 60, 70 points, dude. Think about that.
Can't imagine this offense doing that.
I mean, I was watching Michigan. They had their third and fourth and fifth string quarterbacks warming up.
Yeah.
I
think the third or fourth string got in the game.
Think about that. Their third or fourth string quarterback was probably better than our first string. Think about that for a minute. And I'm just singling out quarterbacks, but you have that at every position.
It's a harsh reality that Nebraska has to deal with right now.
You have to accept that. I mean, truly accept that's where we are. We're bearing down to beat the Rutgers in this week. Who we play? Illinois,
who's also 2-3.
Yeah, we handled Illinois when I played them.
Their stadium was on fire yesterday.
Their
stadium was on fire partially.
Yeah, I heard that. My wife told me that.
hopefully everybody got out. Hopefully everybody.
Hope that doesn't motivate them.
Yeah. Hopefully everybody got out okay. And they did say that as of now, before there, some more investigations and the likes, that the game should be played still at
of course,
Illinois Memorial Stadium.
And anything can happen. We could very well win that game. I mean,
yeah,
we're very close in talent level.
We'll see. We'll see what happens there. But we got to go to a break. When we come back, was it Husker history?
Yeah, I'm gonna give you some Husker history
with former All-American quarterback Steve Taylor. This is Rappin with Rico and former All-American quarterback Steve Taylor. 93.7 The Ticket. Stay tuned.
What would you tell a friend who was on the fence about going to Limitless Mail?
I would tell them to go to Limitless today. Don't hesitate. You're going to second guess yourself on if it's the right decision. The staff there is amazing. The treatments work. I'm living proof it can completely change your life for the better.
Join thousands of men who have changed their lives with testosterone treatment. Slow down the aging process and live life. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmail.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
It's football season in Nebraska, and that means coaches are busy making game plans. I'm Eric Hagan with Liberty Law Group. Teams make game plans because no two opponents are the same. At Liberty Law, we understand no two cases are the same. Whether facing a DUI, criminal charge, or you were injured and it wasn't your fault, we tailor our legal game plan to meet your unique needs. Liberty Law's relentless trial attorneys serve all of Nebraska. To learn more, visit libertylawnebraska.com. That's libertylawnebraska.com.
Nutrition Authority invites you to try Attack, which is an exciting pre-workout for athletes and gym enthusiasts who want the most out of their workouts. Attack can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Remember, when you want results, the solution is simple. Nutrition Authority. Stop in or check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Is your backyard ready for fun with friends and family this fall? GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, which are a great accent for any landscaping project. And you can find them at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by at 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Go to gelandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
93.7 The Ticket has moved downtown, and you're invited to join us for New Beginnings. Join us for our grand opening on Thursday, October 5th at 6 p.m. to celebrate our new space with ribbon cuttings and more. Raising Cane's will be on site to provide entertainment and prizes as we bring downtown Lincoln the newest hangout spot for its favorite radio station. It's 93.7 The Ticket's grand opening at the new 11th and O location, sponsored by Raising Cane's. Tune in throughout the week for more information on times.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric is the call I make when I have a need for plumbing services. Whether it's for my home or office, if I need a repair to a water heater, softener, or even my garbage disposal, I know I can count on Action to help. In one simple call, their amazing customer service team promptly schedules a service call, often getting to my needs within a day. Action delivers honest, quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Whether you're booking a trip to Lincoln for a football game or a volleyball weekend, the Scarlet Hotel at Innovation Campus is the place for you. The Scarlet Hotel is special on many levels, from the delicious Well and Good restaurant on the main floor to the coolest rooftop patio bar in Lincoln, the Barred Owl, on the top floor of the hotel with great views of the city and one of the coolest drink menus. Book your stay or book a staycation today at scarlethotelnebraska.com.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Houses? They're expensive. And once you buy one, you're kind of stuck with it for a while. You need to make sure you get your best house for the best price. You need Ben Bleicher and his team of pros at Professional Realty Group. They'll take the time to figure out what's important for you in your dream home, and they have the expertise to find the hidden issues that could surprise you after the sale. That's professional knowledge, proactive service. We call that potential. Ben Bleicher and the team at Professional Realty Group of Berkshire Hathaway's home service ambassador. Find more online at prg-ne.com.
Back to Rappin with Rico and former All-American quarterback Steve Taylor on 93.7 The Ticket and theticket.fm.com.
Welcome back, 93.7 The Ticket. This is Rappin with Rico and former All-American quarterback Steve Taylor. And like we said at the conclusion of the last segment, Steve's here to hit you with a little bit of Husker history.
Okay. And this is not hindsight. We all know Coach Osborne was hired by Bob Devaney and was the offensive coordinator, because people talk about this curse on Nebraska that your buddy,
My buddy.
Raph.
Raph. He is my buddy. Yeah.
Put this curse because he begged and prayed for all these championships, and we got it right.
It's his fault.
So now he's saying we cursed, but
we blame him. You got to sacrifice a goat at midfield or something.
It's another C word, and the C word is choices.
Okay.
Right? It's not a curse. It's choices that Nebraska has made that has caused them, has put us in a situation that we're in. And there's many ways to be successful in life, on the field or off the field.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's no secret one way to do things. There are more ways to skin a cat. But in the end, you have to treat people with respect and treat people the way you want to be treated, and be good to your employees and your players that build the university. Now, of course, it starts with leadership. It starts with great leadership. Mm-hmm. I was fortunate enough to know Bob Devaney. I mean, when he was here, when I came here in 85, he used to park his car on the first wheel, used to be up on the curb. It's kind of funny, right? And we used to walk into the nice little, modest little entry on the South Stadium.
Uh-huh.
And to the left, we had all the trophies, all the bowl stuff, and you had the sports information office. You had an elevator that went upstairs to the second floor, then down to the field, right? So it was a nice little homey atmosphere when you walked in.
Mm-hmm.
People are buzzing around and everything, compared to when you walk in the gates today. It's a big 30, 40-foot ceiling. It feels cold. Someone's checking you at the door. That's where we are right now today if you go into there.
I mean, there are more security measures.
I'm all for security, dude. I'm talking about a feel.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
I know. I get
think
it.
about just a feel. It feels different.
Yeah.
Right? It was a nice atmosphere. The house wasn't too big, right? Didn't feel cold, didn't feel stuck up, all that kind of stuff. I don't want to digress. But
the house was a home.
It was a home. So what was I talking about now? What did you ask me?
You were talking Husker history.
Husker history. Yeah. Okay, so Devaney, right? And Devaney used to be in his office there, and he'd chat with you and whatnot and everything. So my point is this. It's about choices. Mm-hmm. Now, they always talk about the curses when we fired Frank Solich, right? I thought Steve Peterson was a great hire, one of our own. He was my recruiting coordinator. I got my first letter from him. I thought he was going to come back and do great things. There's some history with him and Solich and whatnot. And I've been around here a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand this. I don't know everything, but I know some things. So it's not about the curse. It's about choices. Now, I saw this coming because I was a option quarterback that was rated in the top 5 in the country my senior year. You had Troy Aikman, myself, Rodney Pete, guy from Steve Walsh from Miami, and a guy from Arizona State. We were the top-rated 5 quarterbacks. And they told me I would be drafted in the first round or 2 if I declared myself as an athlete. That was because we ran the option. We weren't on a prolific offense, right? If I stayed a quarterback, I'd be drafted in the middle rounds. That's why I signed with Canada. But anyway, so Coach Osborne was the offensive coordinator under Bob Devaney. They did what they did, right? Coach took the reins. innovative, power football, the power eye, blah, 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 right? Tons and tons of success. Well, he brought back Turner Gill. He created a position for Turner Gill. That's how he felt about the players and what Nebraska needed, because that's how he came into the ranks. So Turner Gill was a coach here for 15, 20 years, Heisman Trophy winners, Johnny Unitas winners, quarterbacks, all these draftees, great players. No one knows the offense better than Turner Gill. He was under Coach Osborne for all these years. Ran the offense, was coaching it. Scott Frost, Eric Cross, coach all these guys, right? So Coach Osborne has his heart. They won the national championship in '97. He has his little heart conditions. He retires. We all knew that Solich was going to be the head coach. We knew that, 100% behind it. He used to step in when Coach Osborne was gone. He'd do this, do that. Strong, fit, young kid, played here. That's our history, right? So we knew he was going to be the head coach. So when he retired, natural progression. At Nebraska, we just used to reload. So we're just reloading.
You're not missing a step.
We're not missing a step. We're just going to reload with Frank, right?
You're just changing your shoes.
Okay. So you know what happens with that administration? Frank hires Barney Cotton as the offensive coordinator. I'm surprised that no one ever mentions this. Now, if Turner was offered the job and turned it down, that's a different scenario. Turner should have had that position. He should have been offensive coordinator and assistant head coach. Natural progression of what Nebraska has done in the past with Osborne and Devaney. There's no one more qualified than Turner Gill to be the offensive coordinator at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. No one. Absolutely no one. Right? So unless Turner didn't want the job, and which I don't know why he wouldn't take it, right? Because he loves coaching and eventually he wants to be a head coach. That's a natural progression to be offensive coordinator, assistant head coach at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Just think about what that would have done for Nebraska at that particular time in history if he was named. So I was not happy with that decision that he was not the offensive coordinator, that Barney Cotton got it. Barney Cotton could have been the offensive line coach. That'd have been a great fit. So that's a choice that was made by Coach Solich for whatever reasons. I can't get in his mind, can't get in his head, unless Turner turned it down.
Not sure why it didn't happen.
Not sure why. No one ever talks about that. They just talks about Frank being fired, right? So that's another choice. Now, in the end, that's going to hurt Turner, because I was playing football, retired, and came back, and I was like, dude, if they pass me over at my alma mater as the offensive coordinator, I'm leaving. I can't get the job at my university that I started at and played at and coached at for 20 years and have 3 national championships and almost won one myself, that I can't be the offensive coordinator. I'm going somewhere else. So this is going to hurt you. Because to get the resume, it's good to be a coordinator, right? And then go to the head coaching. It's a natural progression. So that's the choice that was made. Well, I wasn't happy about that.
And he did have some success coaching wise. He went on. He was a head coach at. I know. I'm saying.
Point.
No, I know.
That's
No,
not
I
the
know.
point.
I know. It's not that. That's not the point. But I'm just saying that Turner Gill did go on, and if he would have stayed, you see that he did end up having success later on. So it's not to say that he wasn't a good coach. That's what I'm saying. Is that he went on and had success.
He coached here. He's on there. Coach Osborne. Coach Osborne was his mentor, right? And I think that's what hurt Turner when Pelini was hired here. When Coach Osborne was the interim athletic director, and hired Bo Pelini. I think Pelini was hired because he was a coordinator, and Turner was not. I think I kind of give Coach a pass for that. I still wasn't happy with it, but I give him a pass for that because Bo was a coordinator at major university at Nebraska and some other places, and that's a natural progression, right? So I kind of give Coach a pass for that. I'm not terribly pleased with that, but I could see that. Why he made that decision, right? So it's not a curse, it's about choices that were made. Right. And later, in my opinion, that's what would hurt Turner, was that he was never, when he left Nebraska, when Callahan came, he was never a coordinator. It was tough for him to get a head job. That's why he had to go to Liberty to prove himself. And you saw what he did there. So people overlook that. I think that was a huge thing in Nebraska history, that we could have gone a different direction if Turner would have been the offensive coordinator, assistant head coach.
Because he stayed at the quarterback coach, and then pulled up his stuff. So he stayed at the quarterback coach
for how many years?
92 to 2002.
Yeah.
Then 2003, he was the hold on, it says AHC. I don't know if that's associate head coach,
Yeah,
assistant head coach, or what that is.
Yeah, that was the title.
So he was there, and then he was the wide receivers coach in 2004. Then after that, then he went to Green Bay, and he was the director of player development for a year. And then after that, he took the head coaching job at Buffalo. He was there for 3 years. Went to Kansas. That didn't work out, and then he went to Liberty after that, and coached for a decent amount of time at Liberty as well.
But step back and think what that could have done for University of Nebraska if Turner would have been the assistant head coach.
I mean, he did a great job at Buffalo. I can only imagine he would have done a great job here as well.
So that was huge for me. That was huge for me.
Mm-hmm.
And along this time, college football was evolving. You're getting away from the true under center triple option.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting away from the power of football. You're getting away from the wishbone. And I had learned this because I played in Canada for 8 years. You know, I was fortunate enough that I could always throw the football. My mechanics were good. In high school, I threw the football, and they saw what I could drop back and throw the football and deliver it on target and accurate as good as any quarterback in the country, I think, right? But I wasn't reading coverages every day,
mm-hmm.
right? And changing protections like Rodney Peete was doing at USC and these other schools, right? But Canada was a good alternative for me because of my skill set. And then I thought I would go to NFL. But that's what hurt me about the NFL. That's what hurt offensive linemen at Nebraska. That's what hurt running backs at Nebraska. There's been some few exceptions, but in general, that's why we didn't see on the offensive side guys in the pros, because it wasn't a prolific offense, right? So I was ready for that change. And then the NFL was adapting and changing as far as mobile quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
They were no longer the 6'4", 6'5", 250. They were 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", that can move around on mobile. The NFL was graduating to that. Vic was part of that, right? So that was changing. And I always said, in order for Nebraska to be competitive on a national scale, we're going to have to change our offense, because players eventually want to go to the pros. That's where they want to end up,
mm-hmm.
right? So you're going to go to a school that's more conducive, that had that skill set where you can go to the next level. So we have not evolved, or we didn't evolve at that particular time, but we needed to make that jump in order to be competitive. And that's what Osborne did with the option. He was innovative at his time with what they were doing, because I did not want to run the wishbone. That's why I didn't consider teams that ran the wishbone or the veer option. I want to at least throw the ball 12 or 13 times versus 1 or 6.
At least have the option to throw.
At least have the option to throw, and Nebraska presented that, right?
Yeah.
So that was the difference, right? Because you had no chance to go play professional football at quarterback if you ran the wishbone,
mm-hmm.
right? None.
Yeah,
right?
they weren't doing that.
Exactly. So I saw that coming, and I was happy with Callahan, prolific offense, all that kind of stuff. We can recruit, all that kind of stuff. You know, so it's about the choices that we made. And Turner, I think that was a pivotal point in Nebraska history that we missed, and we missed big time on that.
Not retaining or not promoting,
not letting him evolve. I think he had earned it. He earned it. Give him the right to succeed or fail on his own merit,
mm-hmm.
right? Like we've done with every other coach here.
Yeah.
Right. And some more than others, right? So I think that was crucial. And I learned more from my mistakes than I did the things that I did well, right? And like I said, this isn't hindsight, because I said this 10 or 15 years ago when all this stuff happened. And people that know me, they know I talked about this, right? And they like, I never thought about that way. Now, I don't want to get into the race thing about it, because Nebraska's lacking in that dramatically. We've never had a black head coach here, nothing. So there's other reasons, political reasons, why it would have been a good move too, if you want to look at it from that aspect, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's sad when I think about my university, who I love, that we have not had a minority head coach. That's astonishing. That's astonishing, right? These are the facts, right? So this is why it makes it hard to recruit to come to Nebraska. That the average person in Nebraska, they're not going to understand that. You know, so, and it hurts and it's sad. And that's why I'm here on the radio, because I want to help. I love Nebraska. I've been here since I was 18, 19 years old. I was gone, for 8, 9 years on Canada, but I love Nebraska more than anyone. I want us to be successful. I want us to evolve. I want us to be a great state on the field and off the field. But we can do better. We can do better. There's no reason, and we've had qualified people that could have been here. So And that hurts. And kids coming out of school, they see that. The NFL is 75% African American. Let's not even talk about the NBA, right? Right? Deion Sanders touched on this, that 75% of his coaching staff is African American. 75% of his players are African American. You have to have people that can relate and understand to all cultures. I can relate to Black culture, and I can relate to a Caucasian culture. I mean, I've been around them all my life, right? And I'm not intimidated, inferior, or whatever, right? It's part of life. It's part of evolving. And it's when I look at our university, when I talk to other players, I went to University of Notre Dame a couple of years ago for my nephew's graduation. I was totally impressed with the amount of inclusion and stuff that they had there. Faculty, the staff. I couldn't believe it. And this was Notre Dame.
Mm-hmm.
This was Notre Dame, right? It was eye-opening for me how we have lacked in that aspect at University of Nebraska-Lincoln. And it's just a fact. It's not a negative thing. It's just a fact. All these things and all these factors play a part into recruiting and in getting players here. So it hurts. It hurts because I love this university.
Mm-hmm.
And we can do better. We can do better. And we need to do better. And we're going to have to do better if we're going to ever be relevant again outside of volleyball. So I'm not preaching on it's just the history of it. But these are choices that Nebraska have made. And this all came to light when Irving Fryer said the things that he said, which were by all true. They were pretty much all true. Say what you want to say about Irving Fryer and his troubles off the field or whatnot. What he said was accurate and it was true. And especially now with the NIL,
mm-hmm.
the way things are going with that, players are not going to be exploited anymore. They're not going to allow themselves to be exploited. So we need to evolve. We need to understand that, and we need to work within the frames of that. If we're going to be competitive,
mm-hmm.
because the Clemsons are doing it, the Alabamas are doing it, the Georgias are doing it, Tennessee, all these major schools are doing it. There's no reason why we can't do it here in the state of Nebraska.
That's Steve Taylor. I'm Rico. This is Rappin' with Rico and former All-American quarterback Steve Taylor here on 93.7 The Ticket. We will be right back.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln families as their realtor for more than 31 years, and I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
It's football season in Nebraska, and that means coaches are busy making game plans. I'm Eric Hagan with Liberty Law Group. Teams make game plans because no two opponents are the same. At Liberty Law, we understand no two cases are the same. Whether facing a DUI, criminal charge, or you were injured and it wasn't your fault, We tailor our legal game plan to meet your unique needs. Liberty Law's relentless trial attorneys serve all of Nebraska. To learn more, visit libertylawnebraska.com. That's libertylawnebraska.com.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show, powered by Sunbelt Rentals. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador, Select Plumbing, Jimmy John's, Lincoln Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits, Fleet Feet, Yours Cheese Spread on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of local union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
No doubt about it, a water softener saves you money. Don't have one? Call the plumbers at Bryant. Just one call and no arm-twisting contracts. For a free estimate, call 467-1111 or go to BryantLincoln.com.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? By placing your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook. Their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Guys, you've heard me tell you all about Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, but it's not just me. Folks all over town are having success with the FXB program. Guys like Gary, who just finished up his own 10-week challenge.
Yeah, Mark. After having a knee replacement in March, I was looking for a way to get back into shape. The workouts are fun, the atmosphere is a total blast, and I've lost 17 pounds since starting in July.
The next Farrell's 10-week challenge begins on October 7th, and ticket listeners get $150 off enrollment. Just head to theticketfm.com. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies along with a light breeze. We'll see an afternoon high of around 73. Tonight, mostly clear skies and calm winds. Overnight low should be around 51. And tomorrow, more sunshine with a light breeze. Pretty similar day with a high of around 73. Meteorologist Kyle Cluck for 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com.
Back to Rappin with Rico and former All-American quarterback Steve Taylor on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back.
I like that beat.
It's nice and simple.
Yeah.
Rapping with Rico and former All-American quarterback Steve Taylor. And again, we are coming at you live in video form as well.
Is that right?
On the Sartor Heyman Jewelers live video stream, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
Yeah.
And Allo Channel 951. You can check out all the shows on all of those different avenues to see the people in the studio as opposed to just listening to them. But please do listen.
Bach just showed me our ratings and stuff, so we got. No, we're new to this game.
Yeah,
we
got like five.
Yeah,
shows?
we're gonna get our podcast views up. So that's part of that. But anyway, what you got?
Just download the podcast.
We have anyone on the text line or anything?
Yeah, so it's like kind of a question, but kind of going along with what you were saying earlier. An unnamed texter says, "Why do we need to make all these changes?" When you were talking about all that stuff, when teams like Kansas and Washington State are doing well with much less.
There you go. And ironically enough, I just hit Google and they're talking about the NIL, right? We are going to have to step up to the plate and we're going to have to pay these players to come here. That's about as simple as you can get. You got to go out and recruit the best, and you got to offer a package to make it enticing for them to come here. Texas got a couple of $1 million quarterbacks on their roster, right? The Colorado quarterback, Sanders, I mean, he's a 2-number NIL package in the country, and he's a good player. So I'm conservative by heart, right? I'm an independent political-wise, but ultimately I'm conservative. But they're going to have to open up the checkbook and pay some players to get here. You're going to have a good NIL package, which I've heard that through some reliable sources we were fumbling with that, But we need to do better, and we're going to have to open that up. We need players that are talented, and we're going to have to pay them to come here. That's just the way that's what it is now in collegiate sports.
Unfortunately, that is the way
I
things
know
are.
it's not unfortunately because a lot of people are making a lot of money. They're making a lot of money.
Not unfortunately in the way that the players are getting paid, but unfortunately in the way that it's NIL, the way that it started and the way that it's supposed to be isn't supposed to be pay for play. But that's what it's turned into, unfortunately.
And this isn't hindsight. I was just talking to someone about Ernie Chambers. He was talking about this when I was in college. And he even sued God to make a point. Well, that's a different thing.
Yeah.
But he was talking about this, all the money that was being made and how the players were exploited.
Your backs to these players.
If you're a player now, your base salary is your scholarship.
Yeah.
That's your base salary is your scholarship. And you're going to have to earn that scholarship year in and year out. If you're not producing, they take it away from you. That's what they're doing. It's a business now. That's the business side of it. And you got to work within that framework.
All right.
All right.
One more, and then I think we're going to head out. So an unnamed texter. This one's a disagreement with you.
Okay.
I totally disagree with Steve's take on South Stadium. I have had season tickets for a long time in South Stadium, and I can tell you that the update is needed. It is for it is the fans that are paying the bill for the athletes. So to keep people coming, you have to upgrade the facilities. Once fan interest starts waning, then you have a serious problem with funding.
Now, I'm not backtracking. It's needed, but not right now. I don't think we've finished the current development that we're in. I walked through it the other day. There's still rafters up there. It's not done, right? Let's get some momentum. Let's get some wins. Let's get into the West championship game, build some momentum. All I'm saying is that it can wait. My house right now could use a new kitchen and countertops, right? We can afford to do it, but we need it. But we don't need it. We're going to do it at a different time. So that's my analogy, right? It's warranted, but we don't need it right now.
Well, I don't think it starts till 2025. They're just announcing
it.
That's
only a couple of years.
That's two
years. We don't need it in 2 years. How about we do it when we plan to do it when we win the West? When we win the West, how about that?
There's not going to be a West anymore after next year.
Whatever. When we win 90% of our games, 80% of our games, how about we do it then?
Okay.
Right. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, everything can use a facelift. Trust me, I could use a facelift, but I'm just saying, we don't need it right now, or we don't need it in a couple of years.
A lot of things that need to be fixed first before that. That's what you're kind of getting at. And somebody agrees, fix the product on the field before we fix South Stadium.
Exactly.
So start winning, and look, winning cures everything.
Yeah, we didn't have much to talk about football because
it's okay. It's your show.
I didn't want to dwell on that. We got a long ways to go. So let's do some other things that help us get there.
Yeah. It's all right. Games on Friday. They play Illinois at Illinois. Both teams going in at 2-3. Both teams struggling.
Very winnable game. That's all. Very winnable game. Just get it done.
Very winnable. Very losable.
Okay, don't go there.
I'm just saying. I'm just being real.
Go there with
I'm just being real, Steve.
Yeah,
I'm just being real.
You are real.
That's it. Rapping with Rico and former All-American quarterback Steve Taylor. We will see you next Wednesday.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? By placing your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook, their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
If you want all the latest technologies from those big banks, but you also want that hometown feel when you walk in the front doors, choose Midwest Bank. They have top-notch technology. They make banking so easy, and they also have the friendliest staff who will take their time to get to know you and treat you like family. You get the best of both worlds when you choose Midwest Bank. I live on the go, and now I can bank on the go. With Midwest Bank, I have everything I need at my fingertips. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and at Midwest Bank, you'll love banking here.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers